I had a breakthrough earlier this year when it comes to the bench press. I found an exercise which was the cheapest thing in the world, and it addressed everything I needed for the bench press. It wasn't a primary mover. It wasn't anything that's, talked about on the internet, on forums a million times over. It was something so freaking secret and undercover, and no one ever talks about it. And I found it, and it was the cheapest thing in the world. And so if somebody said to me, you have to, bench 160 kilos in X amount of months, let's say 3 months, I will be doing this every day. That's it. And that exercise is simply grab a hammer and do rotation exercises, pronation, supination for my forearm. I don't understand why, but it makes my elbow feel freaking amazing. And when I feel freaking amazing, I feel strong. Same with my hips. When my hips feel amazing, I feel freaking strong. So I always, when I discover something for one exercise, I always try to extrapolate it to all the other exercises. And no matter how far I get, in my journey, I'm always looking for something that is really cheap, that is so specific, that addresses all of my needs. Now, in terms of the squat this year, I've had lots of great thoughts about all of this stuff. The side leg stuff, abductions, the glute stuff, the quad stuff, all of these things which have kind of addressed my hip pain are fantastic. And the Hatfield squats are fantastic. But always a part of me is like, can there be a more efficient way to do this? The Hatfield squats are freaking heavy. There's no two ways about it. I can't get up excited to do 260 on the freaking Hatfield squat, few times a week. It's hard work. And even though it works, it's really, really hard work. And I always think to myself, that's fantastic. All of these exercises that I've spoken about are excellent. But the one thing that I've realized, that I've learned over the years, is that no matter what exercise you're talking about, different muscles will have different development cycles for every single movement that you do. So let's say for the squat, the way I squat, the way you squat, whatever. Think about it this way. The way I squat, my back gets involved a lot. So if I was to rank all of the muscles which are doing the work, I would put like my back number one, okay? And then maybe 3 or 4 points down, it's my quads. Now, you extrapolate that over the following 365 days, what do you have? Well, you have a back that's continuously getting smashed and quads that are continuously not getting a lot of attention. And so you have this gap forming, and then you have a movement pattern that kind of evolves, and you get stuck. And if you're really unlucky, you get pain. So you need to find exercises which are addressing some of these lower hanging fruits, these muscles which are not getting the right attention. The Hatfield squats allow me to manipulate the squatting pattern so I can hit some of these secondary, tertiary, and so on muscles which don't really get in my primary movement. And I think that's the magic in all of this. The bench basically gets saved when I do forearm work. Why? Well, I don't know, man. The forearm gets involved in the stability, I guess, of the bar. And if something in there is lacking, the elbow starts hurting, and then all of the power through the central nervous system gets sucked out, and I can't perform. So you address that third or fourth thing on the ladder, all of a sudden the number one thing starts to perform better because it's all linked. And you can't have a dead teammate on the team. They all need to be chipping in, because if it's 5-4, you lose. This is something that I'm continuously thinking about. The bench press is solved in my mind. If I get really, really motivated again, and now I'm kind of starting to bench press again because I'm not doing the 180 AMRAPs for the time being, I'm like, okay, let me get some benching in while I have this opportunity. I'm not exhausted. And so I'm doing this, and I'm like, yeah, I can see. I haven't done my wrist work for a little while, and all of a sudden the bench feels a bit wonky. So I start doing the wrist stuff, and I start to feel a little bit better. The elbows start to feel good. I start to perform good. So I wish there was something like that for the squat, that I can sit on the couch like I sit with my hammer, and I can just get work in for the hip, whatever the case might be. Something that is so freaking cheap that you can do every single day and just work on that aspect of it. That to me is exciting, and that's always the challenging thing in my mind, always. And it's always going to be a moving target. The goalposts are always shifting, because your strengths and weaknesses are always shifting. Say I do 6 months of Hatfields, maybe something else pops up, then I'm on the search again. That's just the nature of the beast. That's the game. That's the game we're playing. Appreciate you guys like always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.